real.
Pretty much, yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Their entire lives have been building to this night.
It's gonna be okay. Or it's not. I don't know.
How's it going out there, YouTube land and also social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a few weeks back and is a great film from a great director who has directed so many great films over the years, such as the Pirates of the Caribbean films and so forth. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and any other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms, such as X, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Threads. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a film that came out a few weeks back, and is a film from the guy that directed the first trilogy of the Pirates of the Caribbean film, which is a film called Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Yeah! Good luck, have fun, don't die. Yeah! So this film is a new film from that director of the first original Pirates of the Caribbean film. Also a few other films over the years, A Cure for Wellness and so forth. So like that. And this film is just absolutely epic. I was just ecstatic as shit throughout this whole entire film. From beginning to end, it just was a really well-constructed film. And I love the whole concept of it. I love the whole idea. I think it was so much fun. I love how it had a lot of great 12 Monkey vibes throughout the whole entire film. And it definitely gave me that feel of like any of the other films that I've seen from this director. And also just the great cast that was a part of this just made this film even more enjoyable. And the crazy kind of insane things that they end up adding into this film was also really fun too. It just was so bizarre, but at the same time, as you're watching it, you're just like, that is so bizarre, but I really enjoy it. And I was just like really intrigued by the whole concept of, you know, time travel, of course. You know, it's supposed to be futuristic. It's supposed to be, you know, coming back to the past to fix a wrong, this type of deal. Kind of similar to like Back to the Future and so forth and stuff like that. You know, very similar to that too. And just like I said, I feel that 12 Monkeys was a huge inspiration for this film because there are just so many things about this film that were so 12 Monkeys vibes. Now, if you haven't seen 12 Monkeys, which is a Terry Gilliam directed film and starring the great Bruce Willis, definitely check that film out because it was absolutely epic, and you'll see how similar this film is to that. But anyways, this film happens to be directed none other by a gentleman, like I said, that directed the first trilogy of the amazing Pirates of the Caribbean films, and also several other great films over the years, named Mr. Gore Verbinski. Oh yeah, Gore Verbinski, woo, Gore Verbinski, yeah! So Gore Verbinski, like I said, director of the original three first Pirates of the Caribbean films with Johnny Depp. He is absolutely an epic director, and I absolutely love everything he brings to the table. He always gives us really great films that are always entertaining, great writing, great cinematography, production value, CGI, special effects, all that kind of stuff. He always makes really great big blockbuster hits that you want to see on the big screen. And this film was one of those types of films that you would want to see it on the big screen because there were so many great things that looked amazing on the giant screen. And I was absolutely just enthralled by this film, simply for the fact that I think Gore did such a great job with it. I love everything he did with it. I love how it was, like I said, very 12 Monkeys vibes. I can't say that enough throughout this movie review, is that it made me think of 12 Monkeys so much. And Gore did such a great job of, you know, whatever inspiration he might have gotten from that film, he really infused it into this film very well. But overall, I think that he had a great idea that he really fleshed out very well. I love, you know, from beginning to end, kind of the concept and how, you know, trying to right this wrong, you know, that we're trying to fix this AI revolution, and basically, you know, they end up getting to a point where you think they have saved the day, but end up realizing that they hadn't and they need to go back again. And I think that that was a really cool, clever idea as well. And I think that the whole concept just was really well constructed by Gore, and he directed it very well. Because he really brought a lot of great dark comedy into it, but along with a very great science fiction feel, kind of thriller feel, and at the same time just really great writing that really brought to life a lot of the great characters, because each character gets a nice little kind of like backstory that we see where they're coming from to where they are at the point in the film that we get to meet them. And it's almost very similar to, it totally makes me think of how Weapons played out. Weapons was very much the same thing too. We get introduced to these characters, then we go to a backstory to see from their beginning to ending up where we're at when we see them in the film. It's kind of a similar type of thing, which I was really impressed with that. I really enjoyed that. I think that was a really clever thing for Gore to really bring to life. And he did a really good job with that. If you haven't seen anything Gore Verbinski has directed, definitely check out, several of his films. He did an amazing job with them. But a great film to definitely check out of his that I really enjoyed is a film that I don't think gets enough recognition for how interesting it was and how great of a concept it was and how it's very similar to this film that we're talking about. And that, of course, is a film called A Cure for Wellness. Yeah! A Cure for Wellness. Yeah! This is such a great film. It's very crazy, really out there, but at the same time, same kind of principle as, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. It's got that very scientific feel to it, along with, dark comedy and kind of a scientific feel to a thriller feel to, ooh, this interesting story that includes some really crazy crap that you're like, holy crap, I never thought that was going to happen in this film. And that's what that film felt like. And Dan DeHaan was so amazing in that film, and he is just such a great actor, and he brought that film to life along with Gore Verbinski's directing. And I just think that film really shines and shows how, amazing of a director Gore is, and how he brings to life such great, interesting ideas that are so different, it's such a great new experience to watch, and to take something that is so kind of maybe you've seen before a little bit, but really alternate to make it more entertaining and different, and to really revitalize that particular thing. And I think that's what A Cure for Wellness does through Gore's directing. If you haven't seen anything Gore has directed, definitely check out A Cure for Wellness. He did a phenomenal job with that film. But I think he did a phenomenal job with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and he just made such a great freaking film that was just so much fun, so entertaining, and just all around a great cinematic experience. If you haven't seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die for Gore Verbinski's directing, go check it out now in theaters. He did a fantastic job. So this movie has a really fantastic cast. I can't say enough about this cast. They all are so great in it. All do such a great job. Really bring this film to life and just make it very entertaining. And I think that a lot of these characters just really shine in this film. And I think their talents really provide a great funness to their characters and really bring them to life and give us this really entertaining film that, from beginning to end, the character construction, I think, is really done well as well. But through their performances, I think that that's the reason why their characters' constructions are done so well, is because of how well they play the characters. And each of these actors and actresses do such a great job of that and bring that to life. Now, to start us off with this great cast is none other than kind of like the main guy himself, the hero of the film that has traveled back from the future. And that, of course, is Mr. Sam Rockwell! Oh yeah, Sam Rockwell! Woo! Sam Rockwell, yeah! So Sam Rockwell, you might, of course, recognize from a slew of films over the years, from Charlie's Angels, from Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. You might recognize him from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990. You might recognize him from several things over the years. Just recently, he was in White Lotus. And he is just a phenomenal actor. I think he's such a great character actor, and he is always on point with every character he portrays. And I don't think I've seen anything that he's been in that I don't think he is absolutely either the best person in the film or his performance was the best I saw throughout the film. And he is just always so good at what he does. And even the one scene I saw him in White Lotus, he was absolutely just epic in it and just really delivered it so well. And I don't think he gets enough recognition for how talented he is. I mean, I know he did get an Oscar nom a few times now. He's won one, I believe. And I think that he deserves a lot more accolades than that, because he is just such a great natural talent that I don't think we get to see enough of, because he just really is so good at what he does. And I think one of his most underrated performances is his performance as Justin Hammer from the Iron Man 2 film. He absolutely deserves so many accolades for how amazing he was as that character. And that's what I think he provided in this film. He just was absolutely amazing as his character. He's crazy, out there, but at the same time, you fall in love with his character, you enjoy him, you want him to succeed, you want him to be able to show these people what it entails and what to do to be able to fix the situation and all this kind of stuff. And just Sam does such a great job of bringing such a great empathy to his character that you really are rooting for him and want him to be to win in the end. And Sam also just does a great job of doing great interactions with all the other actors and actresses that are in the film, and they all work so well together and really bring the film and make it very fun, entertaining, and just a really great performance. So if you haven't seen Sam Rockwell on anything before, definitely a great film to check him out, and I think is one of my favorites of his. I think it's another one of those roles that I don't think he gets enough credit for how funny he was in it, and I don't think a lot of people talk about it because it wasn't a huge film. It wasn't super, people loved it or anything like that, but I still think that this performance is one that definitely should be checked out because he just was so freaking hilarious in it. And then, of course, the film called The Sitter. Yeah! The Sitter. Yeah! So this movie came out in 2011, stars Jonah Hill, and he plays this drug dealer that Jonah Hill gets, drugs from. And he is absolutely freaking hilariously epic in this film and just plays it to the T. Him and J.B. Smoove together were so freaking hilarious. And it's one of those roles that I think that gets overlooked because, of course, it's a comedy. But at the same time, I think because it wasn't like a super starring main role and the film itself didn't do very well, I think that's why it kind of got brushed under the rug. But at the same time, I think that, this is a performance that you definitely, if you're a Sam Rockwell fan, definitely should check out because he's so freaking awesome in it. He has some of the greatest one-liners in that film that are freaking hilarious. And he goes on talking about how, Noah Griffith, you are my 8th friend on Facebook now, and shit like that was super freaking hilarious. And just like how out of this world and crazy he was so freaking hilarious too. And just he's like, come here, give me a hug. Give me a hug, Noah Griffith, you're my new friend. And stuff like that was just so freaking hilarious. And just such a great performance by Sam. And you're just like, holy crap, this is absolutely hilarious and so much fun. If you haven't seen Sam Rockwell, I think definitely check him out in The Sitter. He was absolutely phenomenal. But once again, I think he was phenomenal in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This was just all around such a great performance by him too as well. I loved the whole concept. I loved how it was dark comedy along with seriousness, with scientific things. And I think that Sam did such a great job just bringing this character to life and giving this really great hero that you were really rooting for throughout the whole film. If you haven't seen Sam Rockwell or anything recently, go check him out. And Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. He did a really phenomenal job. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than the amazing, gorgeous actress, Miss Juno Temple! Oh yeah, Juno Temple! Woo! Juno Temple! Yeah! Juno Temple is such an amazing person and actress. I've always enjoyed her. From the first time I saw her in something, I think she's absolutely gorgeous. And she just always plays really interesting characters. And I love that she's gone from playing kind of like ditzy characters to being more serious, to being comical, to being, like a stripper type of character, or, just whole kinds of different characters. And I think that she plays them all so well. And she's another one of those ones that I think is a really great character actress. She gets a lot of little small parts, but she's always really fun. And she always does a really great job, I think. I think she has a really great charisma about herself. I think that she's always, you're always kind of like sympathetic towards her. You always enjoy her. You always like looking at her because she's absolutely gorgeous. But at the same time, I think that she has a really great talent that she really provides and gives us this great performances that I think go unnoticed. And I think that this is one of those performances I feel that, hopefully I hope she gets some recognition for and really shines and shows that she is a very talented actress, and I think she did a really amazing job. I mean, her interactions with Sam Rockwell throughout the film are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think her performance in this is just absolutely epic and so well done. Her whole process of, basically we see the backstory of how she's lost her son and her grieving with the loss of that from a, unfortunate school shooting accident and stuff like that was really played very well, and I think Juno did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us a very amazing and realistic view on a parent that had lost someone and what lengths they would go to be able to get that child back. And I think that really shines her great acting talent and how amazing of a talented actress she is and how great she is as a bit actress too, being more of like a character actress versus like a main star. She does such a great job at that, and I think that she really brought that to life in this. And like I mentioned before, I'm really hoping she gets some recognition for how good she was, especially in those backlog going back scenes that show what she was dealing with, because it just was so realistic and so well done and just really added some really great flavor to the film. And just Juno was absolutely fantastic in this film, and I think I really enjoyed her character, and she did a really great job. Now, if you haven't seen Juno Temple or anything, definitely a film to check her out, and that is a kind of very interesting story, a very interesting film, and I think she does a really great job in it, having to deal with the situation she's in. And I think that she does a great job and really shows a great side of her and some great acting talent in this film. And that, of course, is a film called Horns. Yeah! Horns. Yeah! Horns is just a very interesting, great film with Daniel Radcliffe, and she plays the love interest of Daniel Radcliffe, and she just really plays the character to the T. You feel so bad for her, you feel so, horrible about what happens to her, and all this kind of stuff, and you enjoy the moments she is on the screen, and you love the love her and Daniel Radcliffe have for each other and stuff like that, and you just really enjoy every moment with Juno in that film, and I think she does such a great job of bringing such great empathy and love to that character, and just getting you to really feel her emotions throughout that film, and you really wanting to, be there for her and want her to get success and be happy and stuff like that. And I think that Juno does such a great job of bringing that to life in that film, and just really shines her great acting ability. If you haven't seen Juno or anything, definitely check her out on Horns. She did a really fantastic job. But overall, I think she did an absolute epic job, and good luck, have fun, don't die. And I just really enjoyed her, and I thought she was a really great addition to this cast, and just a really great member of that great team that's trying to save the world in this film. If you haven't seen Juno Temple recently, go check her out, and good luck, have fun, don't die. She did a really fantastic job. So that brings me to the final actor I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than a great character actor that is a great little part in this film that is absolutely freaking epic and hilarious. And that, of course, is Mr. Michael Pena! Oh yeah, Michael Pena! Woo! Michael Pena, yeah! So Michael Pena you might recognize, of course, from several things over the years. Most recently, he had a brief stint on Landman. Last year, I should say. He also had, he's been in several films over the years, always plays great character actors, so like that. It's always super funny, super hilarious, and is just a really great character comedian. And I just think he was absolutely a great person to add to this film. And I just absolutely loved him in this film. I think he was super hilarious. Him and that girl duo that he's with is absolutely epic and super hilarious and fun. You really feel like they're a real couple and everything, and I think they work really well off each other. And I just think that comes down to how great Michael Pena is as a director, or as an actor, I should say. And he just really rocks it and does such a great job as, his character in the film. And just, you really love how he always plays such great kind of like crazy characters that are always like, I don't know what to do, man, and stuff like that, that type of deal. And he's like super freaking hilarious, and just there's so many great roles that he's been in that are just so epic. And this role, I think, is going to go down as another great part of his great film, filmography. And he just really rocks in this film, and I just really enjoyed him and thought he did such a great job. There were some really great scenes with him that he puts on really great performances, I thought. I thought they were very strong, like almost serious to a point. And at the same time, it had a little bit of a comical element to it, but at the same time, it was a lot more serious versus comical, and he really shined at doing that and giving us some great one-liners throughout this film, too, and just the greatness that he brought to it was just really on point and so much fun, and very entertaining and a great addition to that cast. Now, if you haven't seen Michael Pena anything, definitely a great film to check him out in, of course, or two films in a great movie series from Marvel, is a great film called Ant-Man. Yeah! Ant-Man, yeah! And Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah! So he plays Luis in the first two Ant-Man films, and he is freaking hilarious as his character. He is like Paul Rudd's kind of best friend in the film series, in the first two films at least, and he is freaking hilarious as Luis. And one of the best lines he provides is in the second film, and he's out the window saying, and yelling at Scotty, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Scotty, I'm sorry that I brought up the dishwashing." He's like, and stuff like that, which was freaking hilarious and stuff like that, I feel better now, and he's freaking absolutely hilarious, and there's some great scenes in the first film, too, where he's talking, when he goes and picks up Paul Rudd from prison, and he's like, "Yeah, my dad died," and just how casual he is about it, and stuff like that, "But I got the pan," and so that was freaking hilarious, and just so Michael Pena, and he just was so freaking hilarious as his character, and I don't think this character gets enough recognition how so freaking funny he is, and how well he worked off of the other two guys that were kind of part of that crew, David Dashlin and T.I., was so freaking hilarious too, and their interactions like that was just so funny, and I just really appreciated how great Michael Pena brought to life that character, and just made you really enjoy that character, and you wanted more of that character because he just was so freaking funny and so good, and it was so fun to see him in the first two films. It really sucked we didn't get to see him in the third film at all, and I was really sad by that, but I still think Michael Pena did such a great job in the first two films. He should get his own solo film as that character because he was so freaking cool and just so much fun and so hilarious and just such a great character that Michael Pena brought to life that I don't think, I've seen quite a few people bring to life some really great characters, but that character is just so freaking epic and so much fun, and it just really shines how great of a comedian Michael Pena is. If you haven't seen Michael Pena anything, definitely check him out in the Ant-Man first two films. He did an absolute epic job as Luis. But overall, I thought he was epic, of course, in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I absolutely loved him in this film, too. I think he was fantastic fun, enjoyable, very entertaining, did a great job overall, and gave us a really great character that you will love and enjoy in this film. And just overall, he was a really great addition to that great cast. If you haven't seen Michael Pena recently, go check him out in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. He did a really fantastic job. So what is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die about? Basically, the premise of the story is Sam Rockwell's character has been sent from the future to basically stop this AI thing from taking over the world and ruining life as we know it, and basically taking over the world. And he's been sent back to supposedly have this encrypted file that will allow them to block the AI from becoming fully knowledgeable and going crazy and taking over the world. And it's up to him and this ragtag crew that he's pulling from this diner to save the world. And that's pretty much what the film is about, them getting to the point to where they can insert that drive and put this code in to help stop the AI from taking over the world. It's a really fantastic film. I thought Gore did such a great job with this film. It was absolutely epic. Great sci-fi action, dark comedy, along with some great kind of thriller vibes. Just overall, the aesthetic of the film was amazing. The look, the cinematography was amazing. The graphics they used throughout this film was so fun. The soundtrack was epic, and it just was so freaking funny from beginning to end, and it was just so enjoyable. And I just really enjoyed it and loved everything about it. And it was just such a great film that really rocked it and gave us a really great film that I think will go down as one of the better films of 2026. If you have not seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die yet, go check it out in theaters now. Worth the watch. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up. Definitely will be adding this to the collection. It just really was a very superb, great film, and another great film from the great Gore Verbinski. If you haven't seen it, go check it out now. Worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos when I haven't seen mine yet. And always, people, huge shout out to my subscribers, new and old. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. But if you are new here or haven't checked out, please, want to help the channel out get bigger and better, please check out my Patreon page, where once you become a member, you get access to all kinds of accoutrements you don't get here on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. Help support the channel, make it grow, and make it bigger and better for you guys. As always, catch you in the next one.